Hello. Here I am. What I will do, though, in the event that nobody shows up for this stream, which seems to be the case, I will read. No, I don't want to read this right now. I'll read some strange history, and then I'm gonna go smoke and play with the dog, and guess that's it. Let's see what else we got. This is another one I was gonna do earlier. Myth conceptions. The myth is that the Vikings wore helmets with horns on them. We know that that's not true. The truth is they were buried with their helmets and their drinking horns. So when Victorians dug them up, they assumed the horns fell off the helmets. Myth. In Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, when Juliet stands on the balcony and asks, "Wherefore art thou, Romeo?" she is looking for him. No, that's not the truth. In Elizabethan times, wherefore meant why. So Juliet was asking, "Why are you Romeo?" She was lamenting the fact that he came from a rival family, forcing them to keep their love a secret. That's a good one, actually. You like my Britney Spears shirt? You seen it before? And this myth. St. Patrick was Irish. Nope, he wasn't. The patron saint of Ireland was actually born in Scotland in the late 4th century. When he was a teen, Palladius, his real name, was kidnapped and sold into slavery in Ireland. Because slavery, most people think started in America for some reason. America didn't exist at this point. No one even knew it existed. No one even knew that land was there. 6 years later, he escaped and went back to Scotland, where he joined a monastery. As an adult, Palladius returned to Ireland as a missionary, where he lived for 40 years, dying in 461, and didn't drive away any snakes. There were no snakes, and there still are no snakes in the area. Upon further reflection, famous for both his poetry and his love of liquor, the Chinese poet Li Po met his end in AD 762 while riding on a boat at night in the Yangtze River. Li was very drunk when he saw the moon's reflection in the water and decided to try to embrace it. He drowned. Now, you got to remember, back in the day, there was not a lot, in most places, there was no clean drinking water, so they all drank alcohol at all times. So they were always drunk. Most of them probably were fully physically addicted to alcohol. They didn't even know it. 8 words and phrases coined during World War I. Ace, chow down, trench coat, red tape, 0 hour, cooties, cushy, and 8, basket case. That's a good one. I like that one. I'm not going to read the communist one. Tesla and the runaway Twain. Yeah, Twain. Born in 1856 during a lightning storm, Nikola Tesla was a strange man, but amazingly smart and wonderful man. According to Tesla biographer Bernard Carlson, the brilliant inventor once shook the poop out of Mark Twain. The two men were friends, and one night Tesla invited Twain to check out his laboratory. At one point, he told Twain to step up onto the high-frequency oscillator, and also known as Tesla's earthquake machine. Unbeknownst to Tesla at the time, Twain had an upset stomach and wasn't feeling his best, but Twain was game, so he stepped up on the platform and Tesla flipped the switch. The famous author actually lasted about 90 seconds of severe shaking before jumping to the floor and running as fast as he could to the nearest bathroom. That's funny. First recorded mastectomy was performed in AD 548 on Theodora, Empress of Byzantium. That's how I pronounce it. Byzantium. Whoops. What's that? This is strange history. We are doing strange history. But I just wanted to maybe let y'all know that the JJ logo goes deep. There's a lot more than that. And of course, Wayne Brady with the white wig. Let's not forget. Okay. Do I want to read this? Okay. First jobs of world leaders. There are some that aren't very popular, like well known, but it's probably worth a read. Brezhnev, Communist Party leader in the 60s, was once a metallurgical engineer. Mao Zedong, known as one of the greatest men in history, huh? Pew pew. I'm just kidding. Probably one of the worst. It's either him or Stalin are the worst, I would say, right? Anyway, he was better known as Chairman Mao, founder of the People's Republic of China, was once a school librarian, and then a mass murderer. Yasser Arafat, chairman of the Palestine Liberation Organization, worked as a civil engineer and school teacher. Vladimir Putin worked for the KGB, monitoring the activities of foreigners in Leningrad. Helmut Kohl, Chancellor of Germany from 1982 to 1998, was assistant to the director of a foundry. Cold War era Communist Party leader Nikita Khrushchev, I did Brezhnev, was once a shepherd, a brickmaker, and a metal worker. Is the last one? Okay. No, it isn't. Uganda's Idi Amin, president of Uganda in the 1970s, served as a cook in the British colonial army. He was also Uganda's light heavyweight boxing champion from 1951 to 1960. Wow. Before she was elected as Israel's prime minister in 1969, Golda Meir, who was born in Kiev, which is Ukraine, emigrated with her family to the United States. She helped run the family store in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Italian Prime Minister Benito Mussolini may not have made the trains run on time, but years before he dissolved his country's democracy and invented fascism, he was a skilled blacksmith and stonemason. Speaking of fascism, you ever heard of Antifa? Those are the biggest fascists I've ever seen. I've never really met any fascists or encountered them until I met those people. North Korean leader Kim Jong-il, not Un, Il, apprenticed as a builder of roads and television towers. They got a lot of those, huh? Well, they do, but not for the people. Russian President Boris Yeltsin, the thing on his face guy, worked as a construction foreman and a civil engineer specializing in plumbing and sewage. Andrew Johnson, you know who that is, guys? You know who Andrew Johnson is? After he said all these other people, do you know who Andrew Johnson is? Apprenticed to a tailor and made his own clothes even while he was of the United States. Think Joe Biden would do that shit? I meant to say president, of course. I was just making a joke there because my jokes always get good reactions. Who did that? Anyway, I don't know how long every time I come and do a stream, when people know about it and tell me they're coming, no one shows up. So, last time Walter got here, maybe 40 minutes in of me just doing my thing on my own without anyone watching. But I've already done. I just did 2 hours on the cut of the jib, and I thought people were coming to chill here. I guess they're not. If you do come here and you missed me and you want me to come back on and leave me a comment or a message, you can tweet at me at Devil's Joint YT, Devil's Joint YouTube, because Devil's Joint is my main channel where I do hockey stuff. You can tweet at me and let me know, and I'll come back on. But for now, I guess it's time to go. But I did read some good stories.